Okay. One, two, three. Welcome back. For anyone that's watching to the Infectious Truth podcast, today we have a special guest.
I'm so special.
My boy, my guy, Michael Connor, or Mikal.
Did you call me boy?
My boy, like my homeboy.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. You should talk to somebody
I
about those
thought he
issues.
was being so racial.
My guy. I say my boy in the sense of
My
like
boy. I get it.
I
No,
grew up. I grew up in the hood, so
no one believes that, Esteban. Really. No. I mean, look at you. You look like you stepped out of the pages of some, pretty boy magazine.
never heard that. But anyways,
Why do we have to get back to anything?
I wanna tell people who you are. Who are you? Tell us who you are for the people watching at home.
I am a musician, a classical musician.
Start with your name.
My name's Michal D Connor. Don't play footsie with me. People need to see if you're going to do it. Anyway, Michal D Connor, and I am a classical musician. I went to Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and also L'École Hindemith in Blonay, Switzerland. I just did a summer there, and it taught me a lot about beauty. I came away with an idea of, so that's what beauty is. And I love, for my hobbies, I'm an actor also. I've done a couple things, nothing huge.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Tell, tell us about it, Michal.
Tell us. You said you did Friends, right?
I was, yeah,
We
I
were
was,
just
I
talking
was the
about it.
singing guy on Friends.
On Friends. What episode is that?
I don't know. But it's one of them, and I sing the song. Oh, I can't sing the song because
You
I
can't.
can't sing the song, but the words.
We know the song.
You know the song?
We know the song. Don't do it.
I only did two notes, so you have to do five. I think.
Is that the thing? I don't.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
Anyways,
that was fun, and I still have people stopping me on the street, or when they come up to me, just randomly, and they're just like, "Oh my God, tell me what Rachel is like."
is it all like the new generation, right? Like the
Yeah,
the Gen Zs
Oh yeah.
that have kind of just been watched Friends recently.
Oh yeah. And I love it because every 3 months, like the residuals usually go down
Mm-hmm.
after 15 years. Mine are going up.
Because of the new discovery.
The
from
new
all
discovery, and they play it 24 hours.
Yeah, even they play it in the background. I've been at fault of that as well. Like you want to have it in the background. You're not even watching it, but you want to have the comfort of feeling like you're you know.
I don't because I don't watch television. I do watch those. May I share this with you, Esteban?
Sure, you can share this.
I do watch these Vietnamese soap operas.
Okay. I thought it was going a different way.
No,
Okay.
no, we can get to that if you want. Gentle viewers, you don't know what we're talking about, do you? So anyway, I watch these Vietnamese wonderful little. Okay, they're trashy and tawdry,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't get enough, and I've come away with a couple phrases like "I see loy, I see loy," which means I'm sorry, and they say I'm sorry a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they also say "coot, coot," which means get out, scram, and "mayor, mayor," which is mother. So that's just it's wonderful for my life. This Vietnamese, and they have subtitles, so I'll be out there listening, and sometimes a Vietnamese person will look at me like, "What's the Negro listening to our things for?"
Are you familiar with Squid Games?
Squid Games?
Yeah,
I
it's
am
all the
not. I've
rage now.
heard a little about the rage. Are you going? Is that for Halloween?
No, but it's a whole thing right now. With it's similar to like Korean culture is really popular right now because of Squid Games.
Oh my God. I love the Koreans.
Yeah.
I was in Korea 3 years ago. Oh my God. South Korea is the most incredible
Yeah.
city.
What were you doing there?
I was on a concert tour with the Roger Wagner Chorale, and I was the soloist.
Yeah.
Apparently, none of the other people wanted to sing any solos. And it was hilarious because I always thought the Koreans, and Asian audiences in general, would be very polite and arigato gozaimasu, stuff like that. That's Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got out and sang and gyrated a little bit, as is my wont. Um, am I your worst interview
No,
ever?
no, no.
So they
Maybe the most charismatic.
really
Yeah,
aren't
just
you nice? So if only I
keep
were.
keep the story going.
So the story is, I'm gonna get to it. I'm not.
Get to
I'm
it.
not. This is gonna be a
2 hour.
2 year long, a
Okay.
2 hour long. I got out there and I was singing "Oh Happy Day,"
Hmm.
and I'm not a soul singer or an R&B. I'm an opera singer. I'm a classical. I have a very heavy voice. I mean, it's that's how it is. Okay. So what they really wanted was, you know, ooh
R&B,
yeah, yeah,
soulful.
R&B, and I was like, la la la, and the Korean people went crazy.
Really.
And the
Oh,
Japanese audiences also.
point of reference: if you're gonna do that again, you have to do the whole diva thing where like you back up
Oh, but was it too loud
because the levels. I don't know because I don't have my headphones on, but just the levels are set up for
for
your
just speaking?
for your
For just
speaking
speaking.
there. So you gotta do like the whole pop singer thing where you're like,
But as we've discussed, I'm not a pop singer. But I was, and then the last concert, I sang with my dear friend and singing partner, uh, soon to be wife,
mm-hmm,
Julia Huang. She has an incredible voice and sings like a goddess. And we sang a duet from Phantom of the Opera,
yeah,
All I Ask of You. And let me tell you, the roaring these people made, it was just, except for her mother. Her mother hated the fact that a black man was touching her daughter.
mm-hmm.
I said, Julia, did your mom like it? She said, no, you touched me. And she dug her nails into my father's leg until he screamed.
Wait, is she's Korean?
Yeah, she's Korean.
She's from Korea.
She's from Korea, so she was in her hometown. We were the stars of the show. It was the most extraordinary feeling
Mm-hmm.
to know, because for some reason Koreans love the Phantom of the Opera.
Really?
And so we just, next time we go back, I'm hoping we're going to go back in maybe a year, maybe, I don't know, 8 months.
Yeah.
They usually do it around Christmas, so I don't know if we probably won't
Maybe
go
not
this
with
Christmas.
with.
Yeah, and the COVID thing, we were supposed to be there last Christmas, but anyway, that was fantastic.
I know you mentioned you're a BTS fan, right?
Oh my God,
Is that
BTS.
is that what got you into what got you into BTS? Tell us.
Well, I have this dear friend named, excuse me, Jeanette Glavich, and she is, an older lady, but she knows everything about BTS. I mean, she knows their names in Korean and English.
Yeah.
Hmm. Great water, buddy. And what else? She tells me all their backstory, how they came to be, how their families are, and I because they get mixed up with me. Sometimes I can't tell who's wearing which pastel.
Yeah.
Esteban, I decided they needed some chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to be the eighth member of BTS. I feel like I could bring it. Why are you laughing at me,
Oh,
brother?
tell us about your audition tape.
I made an audition tape and put it on TikTok. Some people call it erroneously TikTok. It's Tic Tac because all those people seem like they need breath mints. Am I right? So I did it, and I reached out to my brothers in their pastels, and I was wearing a pastel like a salmon
Mm-hmm.
shirt. I don't know if V has that or what. Hold on. Yeah, I think I. Yeah,
You feeling yourself in the monitor?
I am feeling that I'm ready to go to Korea,
Yeah.
maybe do a world tour with them, world
Yeah.
domination.
Do you have some Korean shorties
What are shorties?
like girlfriends?
You know what? As you see, I've been working out,
Mm, I've
and
I've seen. I've
and
actually ran into you in the gym before.
did you really?
Yes.
When?
A while back.
Oh, that was a long time
A while
ago.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's right.
When you lifted weights. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm lifting again. I have a personal trainer now
Oh
because I
wow.
want to be ready
For your shorties.
for the shorties because, or as I call them, what do I call them? Spinners.
Spinners?
'Cause they spin around on your lap.
I've never. So they what spins on your lap?
When, okay, I don't know if we can get this graphic for your
Okay.
gentle viewers. So, but you know what I mean, don't you? Yeah. He's just a little slow. Isn't this the best? Oh my God. All we're missing is a roaring fire, Esteban.
We are.
What else do you want to know about me? All right. May I just say, may I tell you about one of the most magical evenings I spent in Japan?
Sure.
Okay. And I'm going to keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's actually no dirty part. So we traveled all day
Mm-hmm.
in a bus, and we were going from Tokyo to somewhere in the countryside. There was this hotel, an old style hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was built on a what do you call it? Oh, I can't remember. It's when there's actual natural springs,
Yeah.
hot springs. That's it,
Yeah. Yeah.
hot springs. And so everything smells like sulfur or rotten eggs. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the night. This was 3.5 years ago. The night of the blue moon, which does not occur very often. It was all around the world. It was in winter, colder than hell. Just, although hell is hot. So we got our bags to the hotel. I'm with the psychotic roommate, who shall not be named. Um, he would just wake up at 4 every morning, just like, I just don't know why no one likes me. And I was like, because if you just dialed back the crazy, I think it would help. Anyway, I digress. So we got down to the hot springs, and it started snowing. the The great blue moon is happening. It's snowing, and we're in this tub outside
Mm-hmm.
of incredibly hot mineral spring water. And I felt so blessed. It was just like, jeez, this is amazing. And that's how I started on my journey to Buddhism.
From this Japanese people Buddhist,
Yes.
and that's how you
And
came.
Chinese people and Korean people. A lot of people in Asia now are turning to Christianity. I don't know why. but but they are, and more power to them. But
Yeah.
I'm
Japan's actually on my bucket list, top of my bucket list.
oh
I've
my
been meaning
God,
to go.
they would
Yeah.
love you.
Would they?
Oh
Who
yeah,
would love me there?
the women.
The women?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Once the border opens up, I'm there.
Isn't the border open now?
No,
No.
they're closed. Yeah.
Huh? Why? Kidding. Yeah,
Why?
it's an extraordinary country.
Yeah.
Completely different, which is why I discussed. I want to go to Turkey. I've never been to a
I've-
Muslim country
yeah.
before.
It's definitely it's definitely culture shock.
Oh yeah, like when you were in Greece, did you experience shock?
No, because I've been there. This is the third time I've been there.
Really? And do
Yeah.
you have recurring friendships that
No,
acquaintances that
no,
you know?
not there. But it's I've been there. I've been there once a year for the last 3 years.
Really?
But I'll tell you this about Turkey. The first time I went to Turkey, I last year I went to Turkey, right? And yes, last year was 2020. At the beginning, before COVID, I went to Turkey, and we stopped in Greece first. But anyway, I'm digressing as well. Uh,
Digression is good for the soul.
one the whole fact about culture shock. I'll explain this to you. You're familiar with like how Muslim people pray multiple times during the day, right?
Yeah.
So this is like about 5 in the morning, and 5, 6 in the morning. I don't recall, but music starts blasting, or like something in the back in the distance starts blasting outside. It's pitch dark, right? And it's like I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like Muslim tones, like singing, and I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, what's going on? Are they killing the tourists?
A call to prayer.
Yeah, but for me, I had no idea. Like I was scared. I'm like, What's happening?
Right.
Are
Right.
they? Are they? Is that the call to kill the Americans or that
And
are
and
visiting?
and we are taught, it's like embedded in us the same way it's embedded that black people are scary.
Hmm.
It's embedded in Americans that all Muslims are
Scary.
scary, and I think that's absolutely wrong. And
Hmm.
you've seen it firsthand. It's a beautiful culture, isn't it?
Hmm. It is.
Yeah,
That's
and the
one thing.
food.
I see people making like judgment calls about like certain cultures, Middle Eastern people, and a lot of times they've never been to Middle Eastern countries or no Middle Eastern people because
Right.
I found like even just Muslims themselves being the kindest people I've ever met.
Oh,
Like there's this thing with Muslims where just the gesture itself is as good as the deed. So
what
all you
does
have to,
that mean?
yeah, all
The
you have to do,
gesture is as good as the deed.
even if they don't accept your deed. So if I say, Michael, let me take you to dinner, and you say, no, it's fine, thank you, I'm fasting, but just you offering to take me is just as good as taking me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So then
I've never heard that
so
before.
then you owe me. Now you have to take me to dinner.
I'll take you to dinner tonight. Do you have time?
Sure, I have time, but
Good.
I was making a point about yeah. I've
Do you
had
see how we got a free dinner out of this, ladies and gentlemen? Boys and
I've
girls.
actually have you I dated a Muslim girl as well.
Really?
Yeah,
But see, I don't understand that because I've heard they're so straight laced
yeah,
and not allowed to be intimate with
hmm,
someone who's not
yeah,
their husband,
yeah,
you see, or wife.
or wife. Yeah, I don't know for with my it, at the beginning of my relationship or before it became a relationship, there there was that like a pressure of that, but then it kind of went away, and then finding out later that it was actually that she was actually from a progressive Muslim country.
Right,
So
right,
it wasn't like it would be in like I don't know Saudi Arabia
right,
or Iran or something, right? So every country like because Turkey, for example, prior to recently, they were like a progressive Muslim country as well.
right,
So that women can wear, be free and live
right.
their lives.
They're not whipped if they
Exactly.
show their ankle or
But I
something.
think their new leader kind of reversed all of that.
Yeah, which is tragic. But
Yeah.
maybe they can put it to rights someday.
Someday.
I know we're always looking for the someday, aren't we? Somehow, someday, somewhere.
Someday. But you've lived a life. You've been to many places. You said you used to live in New York, right? Was it the
I
nine
did.
in the 90s
It was in the 90s. It was. It was. I was in. I was on Broadway in two different shows.
at the same time?
No, that would be physically impossible. I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. Or am I? Yeah. One of the well, anyway, two different shows, and
What were the shows?
one was Showboat, and one was Ragtime.
Right.
It's funny every time, even though I spent like 5 or 6 years of my life between these two different shows,
Mm-hmm.
I forget.
That you lived those lives?
No, that well, I do. I forget a lot because I've tried to cram. I'm so much into the life because, like you, and that's one reason I like you because you're ravenous for the world. You want to taste every dish that's at the
I
smorgasbord.
do.
And I'm the same way too. Just I want to do it all. And so I've done a lot. And you lose track of how much you've done until you start tallying it up and say, "Oh my god, I actually did that." I had an interesting thing I don't know if I told you this. I think I did. I sang at this club in Los Angeles called the Jonathan Club.
You didn't tell me no.
And the Jonathan Club has been around for 125 years. And for those 125 years, they haven't allowed, specifically, virulently, violently, have not allowed black people.
Even recently?
Well, let me get there. So, for 125
Yeah.
years of their history, no blacks, no Jews, no ethnics
In
at
Los
all
Angeles,
in Los Angeles, and it's
and
downtown Los Angeles.
they're like upfront about that.
Oh, very upfront, and because it's a private club, and recently they have a very bad reputation because of it. It doesn't stop them. It's a
Hmm.
gorgeous club. They have gorgeous paintings, but they've been trying to rehab their image. So they contacted. Do you know who the Tuskegee Airmen are?
Yes,
This is one of the last remaining
really.
Tuskegee Airmen. He is 102 years old.
Wow.
His name is Brigadier General Charles McGee.
Is he well? Well,
He's very well,
is he
and they honored him with
really?
the Reagan Distinguished Citizen Award, Reagan Distinguished Citizen Award, and it's the first time an African American has been feted and honored in this
Really?
fashion. And I had to hand it to them. I had to say, "Oh my God, maybe there's a little progress," and maybe because I'm not going to lie to you, many of my friends were upset at me
For doing it?
for singing over the years. Like I sang for the Reagans 6 times.
Really?
I sang for that's Ronald and Nancy together.
Yeah. The
Um,
original Trap King and Trap Queen.
what's trap?
Trap is you sell drugs.
Oh, I didn't know that part of them selling drugs, but I knew
Yeah.
there was. Yeah, Billy Graham, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was not at the club because he was black.
Yeah.
Who else? Joint Chiefs of Staff, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Michael Mullen. Um, Frank Gehry, the celebrated architect. I did him last year. I have a picture. He was exhausted. He just finished. Frank Gehry did. He just finished a bout of pneumonia,
Mm.
but he wanted to be there. He's a strong guy. He's like 5'2" tall, tiny, but what a titan of a man. And so many of my favorite buildings in the world were made by him. And so when I was sitting there watching everyone get their photos professionally taken at the club, I wondered if I was going to be able to get my picture taken because I'm nobody. I'm just the hired help. I
Mm.
sing for them, and everybody goes, "Wow." So when I walked up, he said to me, "You're the singer." And I said, "Yes, Mr. Gehry." No, he said, "You're the singer, so beautiful." And I said, "Thank you, Mr. Gehry. But you know what's really beautiful? Walt Disney Concert Hall." And so he started laughing and he grabbed me around the neck like I was his son or something
Mm.
or his grandson. And he grabbed me, and the photographer at that second went and got this photo. I'll show it to you later.
Mm.
It's a gorgeous photo of him. And the my handler at the club called me later and she said,
Your handler.
"Yeah, because who knows what I'll say? Who knows what I'll do?" There will be no stealing of towels at this club because I know I'm being watched. Who wants a towel? Anyway, that was a remarkable night. But the more remarkable night for me was singing for Brigadier General Charles McGee
Mm.
because someone who literally changed the face of the world by murdering all those Germans so that we could not be speaking German today.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nazis, I don't know how you parse the language that they were anything but the embodiment of pure evil.
Yeah.
But some people say, oh, there were fine people on both
Yeah. They
sides.
they 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 created rocket technology.
They created a lot of things. Every time I see a Porsche going by, I think, beautiful car,
Yeah.
but Nazi technology.
Every time I drink a Fanta, I'm like Nazi technology.
Is that a Fanta is German?
Yeah, they during World War II, they wanted they didn't want any American influence, so they forced Coca Cola. There's a German Coca Cola,
All right.
and they forced Coca Cola in Germany to create their own formula, which now we have because of the Nazis. We have Fanta.
That's funny. Did you know that Hugo Boss originally did all, he executed all the uniforms
Really?
for the Nazi.
I think it's also Coco Chanel as well.
Yeah, she did some. But and I thought to myself, no wonder they're so tight hugging
Yeah,
to the buttocks. I mean, you look and they just look like somebody. Uniforms don't usually fit that well.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Hugo made sure they did.
He wanted to see
And
some.
turn. Is that wrong? Anyway, yeah, I've had some really interesting, remarkable things, and then I spend so much of my time writing my music,
Hmm.
which is an extraordinary thing too. In COVID, a lot of my colleagues, I noticed they were sitting around in their boxers whining about COVID stealing their youth, and they
Yeah,
weren't doing anything.
yeah.
It's like, get your fat ass up and do something, or your skinny ass up and do something. Anyway, so I never stopped. I was helping my buddy with his nursery, Jairo Ivan Antonio Ramirez Vieda. I think I mentioned.
Shout out to your boy.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Jairo. Yeah, Jairo Ivan Antonio Ramirez Vieda. Yeah. Oh. Anyway,
Is that the guy that got you into Tic Tac?
no, that's his employee Yukaya. Shout out to Yukaya. Yeah, and his girlfriend Chun Li. Why am I talking like this?
So we had to talk when you're giving out shout outs.
Yeah, I'm giving.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
I'm wearing my
Mm,
magical ring. Yeah, they're green
yeah,
garnets
yeah,
and alexandrites. Yeah, I'm hood,
yeah.
not. So so writing the music, oh, it's an extraordinary experience for me because I actually get to hear it. And the first time I did, I never sung this one. Am I allowed to talk about this?
You're allowed to talk about it, just don't sing it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm allowed to sing it because they're slave songs from
Oh, they're
150, and they're in the public
in
domain.
public domain.
So there's this one song called "Go Down Moses," and because of slavery and slave songs are like my life's work,
Hmm.
and so they're all in the public domain. Now the arrangement that I created, the piano arrangement,
Hmm.
I own that, so
Yeah,
that's copywritten by me.
yeah.
But we don't have a piano here, so if I sing a bit of it, there's no danger to you at all because it's in the public domain. So this song, "Go Down Moses," meant a lot to me because I'd never sung it before,
Hmm.
ever. What does that say?
Sometimes it cuts. I have to start it over, but that's the only one that does it. All the other ones are fine.
Good. So I'd never sung "Go Down Moses," and what would happen in slavery times, the master would hire a minister, a preacher, to come on Sundays and preach to the slaves about how if they'll just be good little Negroes and do what they're told, when they die, Jesus, white Jesus, will be waiting for them with open arms. And so they heard all these things, probably from the King James Version,
Hmm.
and all this imagery of the the Israelites in slavery, in bondage to the Egyptians. So they saw themselves as the the Israelites, and they saw the white people as the cruel masters, as the Egyptians. And so, and like Harriet Tubman, the great Harriet Tubman, who helped all those hundreds of people get free, they called her the Moses of her people. And they wouldn't have known about Moses if the master hadn't paid. It's like a story of Christianity keeping people in slavery, using, because it says in the Bible, slaves be good to your masters. And the next phrase was, and masters be good to your slaves. But they never taught them masters be good to your slaves part.
Hmm.
Just slaves be good and do what you do. And
They,
if you don't, you'll go to
is
hell.
that the King James version?
That's all versions
All
of
versions.
every Bible ever written, ever translated. The New Dominion translation, it's tragic. So they kept all these people in slavery because Jesus wants you to be a good little slave. Very sad. very tragic. And when I became a Buddhist, I thought to myself, am I going to be able to sing these songs, which I love?
Mm-hmm.
Or because I no longer subscribe to those the laughable fallacies of that whole mythology, if I'm going to be thrown, if my voice is going to be ripped from me.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I still subscribe to some of the mythology. Um, and then I started singing them, and I found out I could sing them better than ever. So the one song was when Egypt was no, I said it wrong. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. And so I put this rocking piano part with it. It's all classical because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
classical musician. And the first time I did it, people, because when you get to go down, Moses, way out in Egypt land, people were looking at me like, because it was semi-intense.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I'm gonna take out the word semi.
It's my, it was
It's
intense.
very intense. And
Mm-hmm. I felt it in my ear.
did you? Oh my God! Well, we're in a small space. I
Yeah,
should know better. But thank you for letting me talk about my music. Because usually I'm just creating it. I'm doing
yeah,
it. But talking about it, sometimes I think it takes the power. Not, it doesn't take the power away, but it's like a secret pact I have with
yeah.
myself to create this stuff. And you've always been creating things, and I don't see you talking about it that much. Well, you do now.
I'm talking about it now. I'm doing it now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
open book.
Are you really?
No.
I knew it. I didn't think you were, Esteban.
Yeah. Tell the
I
people
think
what I'm
it's
doing.
good to keep some things
Yeah.
to ourselves because these people. The other day, there was this Hollywood actress who's married to a much more famous husband than
Hmm.
she is, and she's always talking about their sex life. And I'm just like, shouldn't some things be private? I mean, I think too much disclosure
Yeah.
cheapens a
I know what you're
relationship.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Does she have a entanglement?
yeah,
Okay, we know what we're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah. Entanglement. Who taught her that word?
But anyways, yeah. Now I know what you mean as it relates to like privacy
Hmm.
because like social media, I've had like in the past people tell me about like they perceive to know your life because they follow you on social media.
Right, right.
It's like, hey, I haven't seen you so long, but that's fine because I follow you. It's like, you know, that's a cop out to actually, you know, knowing me and how what I actually do because following somebody is like the internet is all of it's a lie, you know, for the
Oh,
most part.
people are smiling. I watched some of those videos on Facebook, not just the Vietnamese soap operas, but people are obsessed with their image and stuff. And
Hmm.
you would think that everything's perfect about their lives, and then you see them one day crying because that partner that they're with has just finished abusing them
Yeah,
or using them or doing something bad. And so I think people should live their lives and forget a bit about social media because it's not a life, it's an image.
yeah. The pressures. I know you asked earlier about what pressures do we have?
Yeah, I was
Then.
wondering because I've heard a lot about, I've noticed mostly young white men.
Hmm.
Um, and I look at them and they're very handsome. They're, they have the world on a string in, excuse me, my estimation. Number one, because they're white. Um, and
Privilege.
the privilege that they don't even know they
Hmm.
have, which that's why I used to want to be white when I was younger because I would see this. It was so easy. They don't even know they have this magical cloak, their skin. No one ever calls them names. I had a beautiful BMW once, and I finally had to give it up because I kept getting pulled over.
Really?
Yeah, just for absolutely no reason. Guns drawn.
What year was this?
I don't even remember. I don't remember dates, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
But it was enough that I remember. It was just. So I finally just, after a couple of years, I just said, I turned it in. I said, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Because it was scary. Because I knew that one day one of the guns drawn would go off,
Hmm.
and that would be the end of me. So. But yeah, I noticed the young, I'll just say amorphously young men right now, like your age, maybe a little younger, 20 to 30, and they just seem anxious. And I was wondering, why is there anxiety?
Cost of living, you know, cost of living, everything that comes with expectation, to live a certain lifestyle.
Expectation from whom?
Society.
Yeah, see, I was 20 once,
Hmm.
I was 30 once, and
But things were a lot cheaper
no,
when you were
they
no,
weren't. No, they weren't.
no.
If you look back and see, you'll say,
What
"Oh,
was
that's cheaper." No, it was
inflation?
inflation. It was the same price. So I worked my ass off
Hmm.
to get whatever I want, and I usually paid on time. Like everything was layaway. I still do layaway, even though I can afford it, just because it's a grand habit of mine.
Yeah, you got to
This
stretch your funds out.
I don't have to now, but I it's fun
Yeah,
to
it's
me. It's
fun.
like a game. But I think a lot of people, and I'm not slapping you down because I actually like you, but some of these other people there, I see a lot of people smoking a lot of marijuana.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry to sound like grandpa, but I've never seen anybody who smokes marijuana. I've never seen the drugs do anything. They think they feel good
Like
for,
productively, is what you mean?
yeah, they just zone out like, okay, I feel good now. Okay, you feel good, but you're not a productive member of society. You're
Yeah,
not doing yourself
you're content
any
at that
good.
point, right?
You're content, and it's like the train comes and you barely make it out of the way. And I see this, and with all the drugs, I have a buddy of mine from the gym, and he always says to me, "You're so down on drugs." I was like, "Because it rots your brain."
Yeah.
I don't see anything good happening. And people, like I know a lot of singers and musicians, including some famous ones, not that I know them, but I've heard famous ones talk about, they say, every one of them who was a big drug person, they say, ugh, I hear myself when I'm screwed up, and I hear myself when I'm straight, and it's embarrassing because I sound so much better when I'm straight. And this is like the biggest of the biggest. And so it's a fallacy. I'm glad I never went down the alcohol drug route because I get high. I really do get high from life. I mean, my plants, I could write a sonnet right
Yeah,
now.
imagine smoking your plants. You get a lot
I'm not talking about smoking him.
of.
And I will fess up. Oh, if I confess to something illegal, will one of your listeners,
Report you?
yeah.
No, not if it's past.
No, no, it's current. So I guess I shouldn't.
You shouldn't talk
Okay.
about it. No, no.
Sorry, gentle viewers. Is this a good conversation, do you think?
I think so.
Oh, good. Me
Yeah,
too. Me
there's
too.
yeah.
I really do like your shoes, man. Are they leather?
Yes, they're leather.
Are they HM also?
No, they're rag and bone.
Those are
I got them. I got them for like $20.
they're very desirable.
Yeah, they're like designer, but
I know.
I got them. I got them at Marshalls.
I love Marshalls.
Yeah, they don't have insoles, but
So
that's
what?
fine.
You can always get insults.
That's why I got them for $20.
What size are your feet?
Well, the shoe,
Yeah.
my foot, and I anywhere from 10 to 11.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I tell you, I'm working on a piece right now. I wrote it in 1992. It's
yeah.
a spiritual.
That's a good year. That's a good year.
That's the year you were born.
That was shout out to 92.
Shout out to
92.
1992. and it was summer of 1992. Was that when you were born?
And I was born in January.
Ah, well, this was after you were born. And it's a very simple song that you don't even think of as a spiritual.
Hmm.
See if you know this. Okay. All night, all day, angels watching over me, my Lord. All night, all day, angels watching over me. That just went off.
That's fine. These two are still running.
You know, I just love that song. And I wrote it in 92, and my life experience at that time was what it was. And I went to revisit it, and I'd forgotten that I'd written that. I found this tattered copy. It was
Hmm.
water stained because I put it in the basement. And it moves me still. And so I'm trying to rewrite the beginning. So soon it will be ready.
Well, can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is a perfect segue to end the episode.
It's done already?
Do you want to keep going? What time is it?
It's 5 minutes of 8.
5 minutes to 8.
I guess that's a long enough time, isn't it?
Yeah, we can come back.
We can come back anytime you want me. I'm
Yeah.
there.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Esteban. What a pleasure. You're the best. Judah Ben Hur. I love you out there in TV land.